So we've reached 300 plus subscribers, and I would like to thank you all for subscribing to my channel, where I bring new videos on Excel tips, Power BI, Power Query, VBA and macros. Now let's set a new target of 500 subscribers in the next couple of months, and I have a new video out today. So we will be discussing and building a financial dashboard, a dynamic dashboard using Excel formulas. Now in this workbook I have three different sheets. The first sheet, which is called data, I have a fictional database, and I have region, year, account, group, account, actuals and budgets. We have four regions: Dubai, Middle East, Africa, Pakistan and US, and we have 2 years of data. Later on we will see how to append 2021 data so that our formulas update dynamically. We have the account group followed by the sub account and the actual numbers and the budget. So the first thing that I will do is I will change this into an Excel table. I'll click on Insert, Table, Create Table, click on OK, and we get the default setting for an Excel table. I don't like the colors, so what I'll do is I'll click on the drop down and change it to light. Once this is done, I will rename the table to data. Let's go to our dashboard sheet, and I have already set up a template here where you will see that the headings which are in bold is the account groups, and these are followed by the sub accounts. I have two input cells here, which is in cell D1 and cell G1, so that when we change the country, our formulas should update automatically, and when we change the year, our formulas should show the data for that particular year. Now I'm using Office 365, so I will be using the new filter function. So I'll type filter, and we have the array. So I'll type data, which is the name of our table. I'll put a comma and I'll type data once again. Open the square bracket. Once I open the square bracket, I get all my field headings over here. So in this case, I'll double click on region, close the bracket, and we will say let's equal this to Dubai. Let's close the bracket, press enter, and we get a filtered record from our data set which only shows the records for Dubai. Now if you'll see the filter function, the other cells are all grayed out, meaning that once you define the filter function in the cell, the other cells get spilled over and they get grayed out. Now this filter function is using one criteria. Now we have multiple criteria where we would like to filter the records according to the sub accounts, according to the region, and according to the year. So let's go ahead and do that. So for the actual and the budget, let me just check which columns these belong to. So column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I'll type filter, data, and now we have multiple criterias. So inside the filter function, I'll open the bracket. For the first criteria, I'll type data, open bracket, and we will say account, because we would like to filter for the sub accounts. Double clicking on the account, close the bracket, is equal to, and it's hidden behind the formula, so I'll just click on the cell above, come 2 cells down, and I'll lock the column here 3 times. Let's close the bracket. This is the first condition. I'll multiply it using the second criteria now. So I'll type data once again, open the bracket. This time we'll save for region, close the bracket, is equal to, and I'll point to cell D1, which is the location. I'll click on F4 to lock this. Let's close the second criteria. We'll go for a third criteria, which is for the year. So I'll type data, and year is equal to cell G1, F4 to lock it. Let's close the bracket, press enter, click yes, and our formula spills horizontally. So we have filtered the data for Dubai. The sub account is income from consultancy and the year is 2019. Now we have the actual, which is showing here, and the budget. So let's double check this before we build our formulas. So 2019 Dubai income from consultancy. And you can see for 2019 it's 686 and 1850, which is correct. So let's remove the filter. Now all that I need is the actual amount. I don't need all these cells. So the actual is basically the fifth column in this data set. So what we can do is we can put this whole formula inside the index function. So I'll type index. The array is now the complete formula. After the formula, we need the row number. So we need to specify all the rows for our complete data. So I'll type row function, and I will use data here, open the square bracket, and we need all our data. So I'll click on hash all. Let's close the bracket, let's close the row function, and let's check this as well. If I highlight this part, click on F9, open up the formula bar, you will see that we have row 1 till row 129. Control Z, let's close the formula bar. That supplies the row number inside the index function. Let's put a comma, and now we need to specify the column number for actual, which is number 5. So I'll type number 5. Let's close the index function, press enter, and now we get our amount. Now you can see that the new Excel function spills over the column or the rows. Now for the hash reference errors, what we can do is we can avoid the errors by using an if error statement. So I'll type if error, control function key on the keyboard and right arrow to jump right till the end of my formula. I'll put a comma and I'll use double quotes for blank, press enter, and now we get the actual amount for Dubai in the year 2019 for the sub account income from consultancy. Now one thing to note is when I click on this cell, you will see that it is followed by a border, which means that the spill is still happening. So if I drag this formula, you will see that it doesn't work. It shows us spill. So Control Z. What I can do to avoid this, I will use the Sumproduct formula, and we will encapsulate the whole formula inside our Sumproduct formula. Close the bracket, press enter, and now we're good to go. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this, pressing enter, and we get all our desired results. Now we have done this for the actuals. What I can do is I'll just use the simple sum formula here, Alt plus, Pressing enter, we get the totals. Control V. Let me just format the numbers. And we need to calculate our gross profit for the actual. So I'll type equals our revenue minus cost of goods sold. That should give us the gross profit. Let's calculate the net profit as well. Equals gross profit minus the expenses. Now once we are done with writing our actuals formula, all we need to do is highlight the formulas, copy and paste it in the budget area. But remember, the budget is on the 6th column, so we need to change the column number to 6. I'll do the same. And for the expenses as well, so I'll copy it here. Let's change the column to 6, copy our formulas across, and now we have our actuals and our budget. Now to move one step further, we can also calculate the variance percentage. So I'll type variance, and it will be the actual divided by the budget minus 1. Let's bring it into a percentage format. Control Shift 5. Let's copy the formulas across. And we can see that the net profit variance is around 400%, which is positive. Our budget was actually 86,000, whereas in actuals we have achieved 430,000 for the country Dubai and for the year 2019. Now let's also go ahead and use some conditional formatting. So I'll click on the first cell, conditional formatting, and we'll use icon sets. I'll click on the up down arrows. Let's click on conditional formatting, manage rules, edit rule, and let's skip the intermediate step so that we only show the green arrows for positive. So I'll change this to number whenever the value is more than 0, and when the value is less than 0, it should show us as a down arrow. Clicking on OK, apply, OK. Let's copy the same format throughout. And you can see that we have 168% gross profit growth over our budget. Now if I change this to MEA, which is Middle East Africa, our numbers dynamically update. I can at any given point in time change the year or the country so that my numbers update automatically. Let's also calculate the gross profit percentage and the net profit percentage. So what I'll do is I'll select a number of cells here, I'll merge them, and what we can do is we can merge a number of cells here. I'll do the same for the net profit. And in this cell I'll use equals, and we will take our gross profit, divide by the revenue total for that particular year. That should give us the percentage. Let's format it and bump up the size. Let's do a little bit of formatting. 57%, that's the gross profit. Let's calculate the net profit. Net profit divide by the revenue, and we'll apply the same formatting. And our dashboard is looking good enough now. Now if we change this to US, all our numbers should update automatically. 2019, 61% in gross profit and 51% in net profit. Let's check for Middle East, Africa, and we have our formulas updating automatically. Now all that is left is to append the 2021 data to our master data set so that we get the complete 3 years of data. So I'll copy this, go to the master sheet, go right down to the last row, and remember we're using an Excel table, so it will automatically append the new data. I'll press Ctrl V to paste the 2021 data. It has appended it accordingly. Let's go back to our dashboard sheet and check using 2021. So you can see that using the filter function, we have created a financial dashboard showing us the gross profit and the net profit. I hope to bring more new videos on Excel tips and tricks, and if you would like to see something particular in Excel, please do share your comments in the comments section. If you have not subscribed, I would request you to subscribe because I need to hit the target of 500 subscribers in the next couple of months. So once again, thank you for watching and good luck.